Good morning, guys. How's everyone doing today? March 3rd, Thursday. All right. Morning. Nordstrom puts. The Music Manny. It's a I don't know this. Oh, it's called LA. It's a non-royalty song. It's called LA Sunset. I like that type of music. Chill vibe. Morning, guys. All right. So today we're sort of right where we were yesterday. We're still stuck. We're still stuck at that resistance on NQ and ES. Stuck at 14.3. Yeah, Dr. Disrespect, I know. Stuck at 14.3 and stuck at 43.80 on the ES and Nasdaq. Yeah, it's been a good week, Shumbi. Thanks, man. It's been a very good week. Just really feel like I'm reading the charts well. Tesla trade yesterday was awesome. We'll talk about that. Yeah, I think the Skeet chip did help me clear my mind. Definitely helps. Tesla trade, Zoom puts, Roku puts closed. Roku puts closed those up 100%. It was about 80%. I did get some slippage on my selling, but it was up 100%. That was nice. Square puts yesterday. Everything just really worked out yesterday. If you guys are on the live stream, we talked about every single trade here first. So we talk about the trades here. If you want to see them live while I take them, come join the Discord chat. That is where we trade live. So Square trade was live on Discord. The Tesla trade was there on Discord. Everything that we do there, post it all, winner or loser. So far so good this month. It's been nice to have some of these levels actually work. Recently, some of these levels are actually working. So I think that's why, when technical levels actually work, my trades are better. When technical levels are getting not being respected in times of high volatility and like headline risk, that's when I start to get a little bit careful, a little bit jumpy, because I definitely am a technical trader, and that's definitely my style. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll look at futures, of course. Look at the levels that we need to watch today. 14.3, 43.80, just really easy resistance levels that are not being able to be broken. We're just stuck at these levels right now. So the longer we get stuck at these levels, the more downside I'd be looking for. If we get over these levels, then I think I have to flip because I think there will be a technical breakout. So we'll talk about those levels today. Economic and earnings calendar. We can go over those real quick. We had snow report earnings last night. Really bad. Went down like 30%. So that's not too good. That might be creating a gap on the chart, which I'm always interested in. I'm always interested in the earnings gaps. Those have been nice plays lately. So yesterday, snow reported big downside. Yeah, I'm using Interactive Brokers, Chris. Thinkorswim is not good at fills. Yeah, that's why I've changed to Interactive Brokers is pretty much instant fills. So Snowflake yesterday, C3.ai was yesterday as well. Today, this morning, Best Buy, and I have that on the schedule. We're going to look at that one because it did push right into resistance on earnings, which we've seen a lot on a few stocks, and then it fades. So definitely interested in Best Buy. Marvell, which is a chip name. Costco, that's going to be, I'm very interested in Costco today. And that's about it for the rest of the week. So there's your earnings. Today, it's Thursday, so we just have our normal jobless claims as always. Every Thursday, we have our jobless claims. So let me pull that up. Here is your economic calendar for today. Thursday, jobless claims, right? Big. That's important. I mean, I don't want to say it's big because we have not seen many big moves off jobless claims, but I think it will be, an important metric for moving forward. And then again, we have Jerome Powell at 10 o'clock. So yesterday we had Jerome Powell. We did have one large move based off that Jerome Powell once he started speaking. at 10 o'clock. I'll go ahead and show you guys that. So right around 10, a little bit past 10 while he was speaking, we had this big move out of nowhere. And this is sort of the reason why you got to be careful trading around Jerome and in any type of economic news. Because right here at 10:28, excuse me, you had a 2-minute candle that went from low a day to high a day, right? So maybe, some people were trading puts here looking for that low a day flush. And then this is just classic market reaction. This is just classic market stuff here, guys. This is going to happen all the time. I mean, look at this. So you have a little bit of a bear flag, right? Down towards low a day. You crack low a day and you get a bunch of people that are chasing the low a day flush, right here. You have a bunch of people getting in here short on a low a day flush. Maybe futures traders, taking it short. Maybe some people taking QQQ puts, SPY puts, looking for that drop below low a day. They got the flush. They're feeling confident. And then Jerome Powell says something and boom, in 2 minutes, you went from low a day to high today. So when I say on this stream to be careful during economic news and to be, not try to hit home runs on days where economic news is released or talked about, that's what I'm talking about. It's this right here. This is the exact reason why I say that. So just be careful, guys. It's going to happen potentially today again. I don't want to see anyone get stuck in something like that. If we get something, if Jerome says something people don't like, where maybe you look to take a high day breakout, it's like this. You're like, oh, let me get some calls on this high day breakout, and then boom, right? So just be careful. That's why I say these things, because this market is not very kind, especially on days of economic news. So that was yesterday. We have that exact same 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. Eastern time, Jerome Powell testimony today. So be careful there. All right, Tesla. We'll talk about my trade yesterday off Tesla 850 support. You guys know we talked about this support yesterday. 850 support, 880 resistance. Tesla was holding 850 as we talked about, and the ES was breaking out at new highs. So when I saw that, guys, that's a pretty easy arbitrage opportunity in my opinion. Sometimes you can catch arbitrage on the market. It's when it's not really a true arbitrage. A true arbitrage is when something's mispriced. But to me, it's sort of like an arbitrage type of opportunity where, Tesla wasn't really performing. It was holding support while the ES was pushing through highs. So if I see the S&P 500 pushing through highs and I see Tesla not really reacting to that, sometimes I will take an opportunity to see if, maybe Tesla will catch up here. And we did that yesterday. I caught the low of the day, and I did take profits too soon, but that's nothing. I have no regrets about that. So we'll talk about that Tesla trade. That was pretty awesome. Congrats anyone. I know Smokey, if you're here, made $5,000 off that trade. So that was pretty crazy. So congrats, Smokey, and to anyone else that took that. Roku puts, closed those up yesterday. Very nice. We'll talk about why I took those and just show you the chart and how there's so many charts that look like Roku right now, and that's why I'm very interested. Divergence, I guess you could call it divergence. It's sort of like arbitrage. It's just sort of a loose definition of both. It could be relative strength. The reason why I was confident in it, Alexander, was because it was sitting at support. That's the only reason. That was like the second part of it that I was confident in. It was sitting at 850, and I knew that was a strong level. I did not expect Tesla to go under 850, but it made it an easy stop loss. We'll talk about it. I get a flat tire in the Porsche. No. Yeah, I opened up the doors. That you can see it in the background. The hood's open, the trunk's open, the doors are open. Maybe I gotta. It's funny. Upstart. I'm very interested in Upstart. I think I might actually start adding shares of Upstart, which may or may not be a bad idea. But I think I'm going to start adding shares of Upstart here in my M1 account. If you guys want to start investing with M1, use my link. I believe it is down below. I think I'm going to start adding to that. Upstart, I like where the chart is. I like the strength that we've seen. The earnings were great, and it actually looks like this stock's getting a little bit of buying. So I'm looking at it. It's not going to be something that I take a big position in, but I think I'm going to start, dollar cost averaging into this name. So Upstart pushing 160. It looks pretty good. Maybe even just trading this thing could be very nice. My stream says that it's not good quality. Hopefully it is still. Snow near IPO lows, so Snow earnings got a big dump, about 30%. So it's near those IPO lows. BBY, Best Buy, ER pushing right into resistance. So Best Buy is pushing right into a big resistance level on earnings. We have seen this on many stocks. Zoom pushed into resistance on earnings. Square pushed into resistance on earnings. And all of those stocks faded after their earnings. So I'm looking to see if Best Buy does the same. I'll show you guys today. CVX, XOM, XLE, this is oil, gas, energy, all still going, all still very strong. I believe there will be a moment where we can play these back to the downside. I really do. However, it's just not there yet. But I'm definitely, on an intraday basis, looking for reasons to see if the energy move starts to slow down. I'm definitely looking to see if the energy move starts to slow down. I don't know when it is. I'm not going to try to catch it perfectly. I'm just keeping an eye on it. I'm on a daily basis. I'm looking at energy, and I'm looking to see if I can see any types of cracks in the momentum. More news on supply increases. More news, a little bit of less tensions in Russia, Ukraine. When does that happen? I don't know, but I think this is a big opportunity because I don't think energy goes up forever. So something I'm thinking of, could just be totally wrong, but just talking to you guys, letting you know. SE, major level. SE has a major level that it needs to hold here, or this thing's going to take another really big dive. SE is not a stock that's very favored right now, in my opinion, and it's sitting at a major level. If it breaks, I think you get more downside. And then I just want to show you guys the charts on Square, Roku, Zoom, because all these charts look really similar. And if you guys see charts like this, I would look for a similar setup to what I've taken on these puts. So just want to show that to you to end the stream, and then we'll go over what the members want to look at. If you guys are a member of the channel, you can go ahead and put your tickers in the Google Docs. So let me go ahead and pull that up. Google Docs. Today is the 3rd. So we already have some people putting some tickers in there. If you guys want to look at anything, if you're a member, if you have access to that Google Docs, make sure to do so. Okay, let's do it. You're actually getting a little NASDAQ push right now. All right, so daily chart. Daily chart's been, it's been a little bit too, too macro to get a really good picture. But, you're at this 14.3 level. And this is still, if you look at the macro level, it's still very clear. The one and only thing I take away from the daily chart is this. That's the one thing I take away. Downtrend. As long as I see the NASDAQ in that downtrend, I have to be slightly biased to downside. Understanding that the market is still relatively weak and we shouldn't expect big breakout moves. That's the one and only thing that I put in my mind when I look at the daily chart. So daily charts there, 20 SMA is also approaching, and you guys can see what happened the last few times we touched the 20 SMA, right? Look, boom, 20 SMA touch, downside. 20 SMA touch, downside. 20 SMA touch, downside. 20 SMA touch, also major resistance. I have to think that there's downside here. That's my first read of this market. Is that if nothing changes, if everything's alike, if no big momentum shifts happen, if we're just going to continue to do what we've been doing, a 20 SMA touch into resistance has led to downside 4 times in the last 2 months. So just keep that in mind, guys. See if that starts coming to fruition, because that is right there, the 20 SMA and major resistance. This is a big level here. So please be aware of that. I would be very cautious trading calls through this. or being very aggressive on calls on tech stocks there. Just be careful. All right. Hourly chart. If we go to the hourly chart, you can see why this level is so important. This is the 14.3 level on the NASDAQ, and you can see how big this level is. It has not been able to get above it. It even comes back to here, actually. Let me bring it all the way back. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I understand. I'm not one that's going to be bearish all the time. I'm just sort of pointing out resistance levels. But yeah, sure. I mean, it could go up. Absolutely. So resistance. You have resistance here, and you have resistance here, right? 14.3. Huge level here. So please watch this level today, guys. If you get the breakout, I am, totally for seeing upside. I think you can see upside if you get that breakout. Absolutely. Because that is a large technical breakout, and a lot of short covering will go on if we see a strong move above this 14.3. If we even hold it as support, that would be even better and more confirming, in my opinion. If we can break it, hold it as support, and push, that would be fantastic for upside. However, I would wait to see that. I do not want to be the trader that enters right in this area, right? I don't want to be the trader that enters here, because the traders that have entered here around 14,250 have lost here. Maybe they won on this push. They've lost here. They've lost here. They've lost here. They've lost here. They've lost here, and maybe they lose again here, right? So I don't want to be that trader. I want to be the one that gets in on this move. This is the move I want to get in on, right? Push, pull back, hold, maybe a multi-day hold, something like this, little move like this, and then I see it hold support, I get confident, then I want to be the trader that gets in right there. That's my entry, all right? That's where I want to be in. Not here. I don't want to guess. I want confirmation. I want to push. I want to pull back. I want to hold. I want a nice consolidation at previous resistance. Turn that resistance into support. Then I have confidence. Let me get the push higher. Let me get a higher high right here. And let me get in on that. Right? That's the trade I want to take. I don't want to be the one guessing here. So hopefully that makes some sense. That's what I would look for. I would look for a breakout and a retest and a hold. Then you get confirmation. So watch out, guys. That's 14.3, and that is what I'd be watching. If that does not break today, the longer we sit below that, the longer we get weak. The weaker we get, in my opinion. So we need to get above that level. ES is slightly stronger, and you can see we're starting to get a little bit over it. So this could be a nice precursor to maybe a NASDAQ push. 4380 was the level. You're sort of above it right now. 4400 is like the big level. The sort of I don't think you can get multiple support confirmation. Yeah, maybe not. You never know. It's impossible to say that. Maybe we do. So you have a 4400 push that is potential here. I would love to see that, but you have to see. I would try to see the same thing. I would try to see the same thing. 4400 push, see it hold as support, at least for like a day or maybe 2 days, something, even if it's short term. Look for that 4400 push, look for that support to come in, and then I would play to the upside. But guessing here is a little bit difficult because you could be caught in something like this, right? It's totally possible. So it's up to you guys, right? You can either be the aggressive one, and take it early, or you can be conservative, right? Conservative, will lead to less losses and better, probably more quality trades, but it will also potentially result in missing out on trades, right? So you got to decide what kind of trader you are. Are you the one that's going to take every opportunity and be aggressive? You get big wins, but you can also take multiple losses. Or are you more conservative and you maybe miss out on some stuff, but the trades that you do get in have confirmation and are more likely to work out. It's totally up to you guys. I'm not saying either one's correct or incorrect. Just do what you guys are comfortable with. Me personally, I like to have confirmation. That's just something that I like. So I do miss out on opportunities, but that doesn't really bother me because I look at it and I say, hey, I can't look back at this trade in hindsight and say I should have got in, because there was nothing there at that time to tell me that. So right now, I'm just looking for confirmation, guys. And right now, you're sort of just sitting there, waiting to see if we push. So that's the ES, guys. 4,400 or 440 on the SPY ETF. That's what I would watch. That is your range. Dow, same exact thing, right? Everything looks the same. Same exact thing. Here's your resistance, 34,000. Can you get over it? If you can, same exact concept. Look for the upside. Russell, zooming out. Russell's 2,100, and Russell actually had a nice little move. You can buy puts there as well, but you want to have confirmation of that. The only reason I took puts on that on Monday was because I had confirmation. You had a lower high and it started to form, right? You don't just buy puts because it's there and just hope that it works. You got to see intraday. Does it start to reject? Does it start to, you start to make lower highs, lower lows? Does it start to crack? Then you take it. You don't just take it because it's there. 2,100 on the Russell. That's the big level. You guys all know that. I'm going to say this every single time. I'd be shocked to see this through 2,100. But if it does, and when it does, which it will eventually, there's going to be a move on small caps. So watch that, 2,100. All right, futures. To recap that, watch the major resistance today. If we get through it, fantastic. Look for it to hold as support. If that breaks out and actually has a strong breakout, I think you get a little bit of upside on this market, honestly, because that's a pretty major breakout. Maybe you get a little push here into the next pivot point. Maybe you get a push into maybe right into like this 14.6, right, into the next pivot. If you get a push here, maybe then push into the next pivot point there around 14.6. On the ES, maybe you get a push into the next high right around here, probably around 44.65 if you get that push, right? I wouldn't expect this push to bring you back to all-time highs. I don't think anyone's saying that. But if you get the push, which it could be a little technical breakout, maybe you get that next push into the highs, right? Into the previous highs, right around 44.60s. So that's what I'd be looking for. That's what I'll be watching today. And you guys do you, of course. So Tesla, here's the hourly chart on, let's go 30-minute. Let's go 5-minute. All right, 5-minute chart. Here's the 5-minute chart on Tesla, guys. And yesterday, it was pretty textbook, right? We talked about 850 as support, and we talked about 880. I don't know why that was so high. 850 as support, and we talked about 880 as resistance. Now, yesterday, what did Tesla do? It dropped very quickly to 850 and put in a double bottom. Double bottom 850, and this was around, so if I go to the 1-minute, this was around when it started to actually push around 1 o'clock, right? 1 o'clock was where we started to push, and 1 o'clock, 1:02 p.m., was where I got in, right here. 1:02 p.m. in Tesla calls off 850. I like how we're getting a potential breakout on the ES, and Tesla sitting at strong support. We already did economic calendar. Got in the Tesla calls. This is what the chart looked like at the time. And that is why I got into it, because we had I knew 850 was strong. We talked about this on the live stream. So ended up taking 5 contracts around 450, sold one at 6. So that's a nice 1.5 per contract on 4 of them. So that's $600 right there. I did buy one back there, lost $100 on this little lot right here, and then sold the last at 481 from 444. So about $500 total on this trade. And I'll sort of show you guys at 1 o'clock when I got into it was right around here, right? So we sort of caught that low off 850. And on the ES at 1 o'clock, what was the ES doing at 1 o'clock? The ES was all the way up here at highs, and it was breaking out. Look, 1 o'clock right here. 1 o'clock right here. The ES was breaking out of highs at 1 o'clock. Very strong move. On the NASDAQ, on the ES, here's the NASDAQ at 1 o'clock. It was breaking out of highs. So when I saw that, I said, hey, Tesla's going to have to catch up to this move. If ES and the NASDAQ are breaking out of not all-time highs, breaking out of daily highs, I am taking a shot here on Tesla because I believe that you have 850 support all down here. If my tool would actually work, you have 850 support all down here, and you have the ES and the NASDAQ pushing through highs. Why would Tesla not move there? That was my mindset. That's what I believed, and it worked out beautifully. I mean, look at this move. So I did not catch this whole move. I ended up selling them at 148, which is right around here as we started to, I was all out as we broke below this low. I thought maybe we would just move back lower. So I got out right here as we started to crack. But you can see we ended up pushing all the way back into 880. Those contracts ended up being up 100%. So congrats, guys. If you got in there at 1 o'clock with me, you're up 100% on this Tesla trade in about two hours. So that was nice. I mean, that was just a really good opportunity and a really good watch of, I didn't hold the whole move. I did not. I sold it right here. Did not hold the whole move. So that was just a nice little example of looking at the chart, knowing that there was support here. You can see that there was 850 support and just trading it off of it. Today, I would be looking for this 880. Does it break out here, right? Does it break out and hold? Because you guys don't want to get stuck in this type of move on Tesla, right? This is what it's done recently to everyone that's trying to catch the breakout. It pushes and rejects quickly. Pushes, huge rejection. Pushes, big rejection. So I have to know that if Tesla pushes over 880, I have to really be careful because it could easily do this on me, right? I don't want to get stuck in that. I would like to see it hold 880 today. I would like to see it find some support above 880. Maybe there's some scalps to be had just on a quick push. But let's see. Can Tesla break over this 880? This is a big level, guys. This is a very big potential move here on Tesla. I would not want to miss this. So please keep this on your charts because when Tesla consolidates like this, it makes it pretty easy to know the next move. You're either going to get a huge breakout or you're going to get a dump below these 850 lows. So I'm thinking it looks bullish on this little build-up this morning. That's my first opinion. It looks pretty bullish on this build-up. You just need to see it break and hold 880 today. So please watch that. That could be a very big opportunity. Okay, guys, Roku closed my puts yesterday, but I did enter some more. I think there is more downside here, to be quite honest. I think there is some downside to be had. It depends on the market, of course. If the market does break out today, if we break over those support level or those resistance levels, then yeah, Roku's probably going to push with sympathy on the market. But I see a bear flag, and I think there could be more downside here off this previous support into resistance. Could be wrong, and obviously willing and able to take the loss if I am incorrect. But I think we might get a push either down to this trend of 120 or maybe even down to 100. If the market is weak, right? If the market's weak, you maybe get a push there. So I'm definitely watching this. This is a perfect little push back into resistance, bear flag, maybe a pushback lower. Definitely watching this. However, we did take profits on the first, and this is yesterday morning on Roku. So this push right here is all you want to see on short expiration contracts. If you see something like this, you got to take profits. Talked about this with the chat yesterday. If you guys are sitting on some short expiration contracts and you get a move like this in your favor, you cannot be greedy. You have to take profits here. You get an 8% drop to start the morning on Roku. If you hold those because you want more, you are being extremely greedy, and you have to understand how option contracts work. Even if Roku ends today, at 125, maybe even 124, your contracts would have most likely been higher yesterday than they would be today, right, on 0 DTE. There's a good chance, not 0 DTE, on short expiration, say Friday expiration, so tomorrow expiration. There is a good chance that your option contracts were worth more yesterday than they will be today, even if the stock drops lower. So you need to understand that. That's always going to happen with short expiration, right? So that's why I took profits yesterday. Big move in my favor. I still think there's downside, but the market could be the reason why it holds up. Daily chart on Upstart. Really nice 160 level here coming in. I don't know if it gets through, but if it does, I'm very interested. You can see this is also sort of a gap here on the chart. Previous resistance as well, all in this area. So just be careful up here in this little 160 to 180 area. But I can't ignore the fact that Upstart has held pretty nicely over the last few weeks. You did have that big gap fill, and since the gap fill, you've had a very strong reaction to the upside. If I go to the 4 hour, we can see this a little better. And I believe that if we get a 160 break, that I believe there could be some momentum behind this move. Right here. You guys can see resistance, resistance, and resistance. So, a little cup and handle, maybe, yeah. So watch that on 160 on Upstart, guys. I like this. If we get the break here, I think there could be some upside. I really do. Jobless claims, yeah. Not really that interested in them because recently they've made no move in the market. But let's see what the numbers are. Let's see if Walter Bloomberg's got it for us. Here it is. Non-farm productivity revised 6.6 for, so it's as expected. Jobless claims 215 versus 225. It's almost the same as expected, isn't it? Total is 215. The expected was 225. So we're down 10,000 jobs. I mean, that's pretty much as expected, right? I would say. So we'll see if their market's at. We'll see if the market has any reaction, but basically as expected on jobless claims. Nothing major. No major surprise there. Keep me updated if you see any reaction on the overall market, but right now it's just not really doing much. And a little bit of a dip, but that's very zoomed in, so. All right, let's continue. Snow. Big downside. Whoa. That is some nastiness. That is 30% on earnings. So congrats. If anyone has snow puts, you are going to be up very nicely today. If we break resistance on futures before Powell speaks, are you taking that play to the upside or waiting? Not really. I probably won't be playing the breakout on the futures, to be honest. I'll just be looking to see how it affects individual names. I'm definitely going to be patient through Jerome to make sure that I'm not, getting on a. I'm not going to let myself get faked out on a breakout this morning on the futures. I'm going to be very patient, as I've been this month. All right. So snow is trading back down around 213, and that is all the way down here. So 213, if we go to the 4 hour and we get a little bit more time, let's get a little bit more time on this. Zoom out. So we are trading basically right around the IPO lows. Here's IPO. I believe that is IPO. Let me go all the way out. Yeah, IPO was 9/14, September 14th. Let's go back to 360. Yeah, right around September. Here's your IPO right in here. A little bit before this, but it still works. So right here's IPO. You got a little bit of a dip to 183, and you are back at those IPO lows. Earnings yesterday came all the way down to the IPO lows. That is where we bounced off of yesterday, right here. So we bounced off the lows of this, the all-time lows of this stock yesterday. There's going to be a major gap on the chart today, on the daily chart. I would probably look for the push into 237, 238, and then the rejection. That's what I would look for. So if I go to let me go to the 4 hour again. If you see this push, guys, on snow, right back into this level, I would look for rejections. I would look for this push. I would look for the rejection right here. And then I would look for the downside again. That's what I would look for. That's a trade I would love to take. That's the exact trade that I've taken on Roku, Zoom, Square, all these charts. This is the exact trade that I've taken. So that's what I would look for. Snow, maybe get a little push, fake push, and trade it back to the downside. Best Buy. So I think they did have good earnings. They raised quarterly dividend. They did report lower sales due to supply chain. Stock repurchase of $1.5 billion. They raised a little bit lower than expected on their guidance, or they guided a little bit lower than expected on both sales and the EPS. So that's a little concerning. I'm not sure how the stock's going to react to that, but what I do know is that Best Buy is pushing right into this resistance level. 1, 2, 3, and we are back right here at 107 today. We are right here today. So, if I see Best Buy start to take some resistance, start to lose some steam here, I am going to be interested in playing this back to the downside because this is a major resistance level. You guys can see it from all across the board here. Resistance, well, support, turned into resistance, and maybe there is resistance here again. So let's see. We'll see how Best Buy does today. If it starts to show rejection around the 105, 106 area, I'll look to see if it wants to slip again. If not, just watch this range, guys. I mean, this is just a really nasty range on Best Buy. This is not a stock that I would have anything to do with, especially in a long-term investment. Unless you're just doing it for the dividend, which I don't know what their dividend is, but I can't imagine it's very high it might be sort of high for retail. I don't know. So, I mean, if you're in it for the dividend, great. You just want to see this thing sort of trade sideways and collect your income. But if you do hold above 105, 106 today, maybe you start to see this little push back towards this range high. But I would like to see if it can reject. That would be my ideal situation. All right. CVX, XOM, XLE, right? Actually, let's take a look at oil. Oh, look at this. Look at this. U.S. and Brent crude futures turned negative after rising over 5% earlier in the session. What's oil doing? Why is it dropping? Is there any news? Do we see any news on oil at 8 o'clock? Venezuela asked Wall Street to help lift U.S. sanctions so oil can flow. Amentis closes new 100% million credit reduction. I don't see anything too related. If you guys see anything for oil, let me know. But you have a little bit of a drop here on oil. Not saying that this is the top, but when I look at this chart, guys, I do believe there's opportunity here. I really, really believe there's opportunity on oil to drop back below 100. And if it does, I believe there could be some trades to be had on XOM puts and CVX puts and maybe even USO puts. I mean, these charts are out of control. It's a short-term type of reaction, I think, a little bit of a reactionary trade, in my opinion. You could disagree with me, and we'll have to agree to disagree. But I believe this is a reactionary trade that's going on right now, and I want to try to take advantage of it. And I'm going to be looking to see when does this start to crack, because CVX cannot go like this forever. There's going to be a pullback, and I want to be a part of it. So I'm going to be watching these stocks, guys. CVX is straight up for the last 4 days, literally like 2% a day. You can see right here. That's 3%. That's actually 4%. That's 4%. That's 3.5%. And that's about 3.5%, 4%. So 4%, it's up 12%. Actually, I'm sorry, it's up 16% in the last 4 days. CVX. I think it's going to take some time. I don't think it's going to be within the next few weeks, but I definitely believe there's going to be something here. I think a lot of people are going to make a lot of money back to the downside. Yeah, you can go long the SCO if you want. I'd rather just short the individual company, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, you could go long this. Definitely. You could definitely go long this. Maybe you get a push back into the teens, if that's how you want to play it. I don't know, guys. This is something that I'm just sort of just sort of thinking about, hypothesizing about. Not something I would say go ahead and do yet, but I would at least watch it, because if this oil starts to crack, there's gonna be some downside on these oil names. CVX already looking at some downside there. XOM, USO, so definitely worth watching in my opinion. Could be totally wrong about the idea, but I think it's a pretty good watch. What is the total amount of risk on each options chain on your Discord? That is not really a question that's relative to any reason to be there, because I don't want people being there following my trades. People need to understand the risk that they put into their own account. I may take a trade with $1,000 or $2,000, but that does not mean that the person that's looking at my trade should be doing the same. So I teach risk management and doing your own stuff and not just following people. I share my trades for ideas, to teach people, to show them what I'm looking at, but it is never a strict, you follow me, this is how much you put in. That is not how you should be trading. So it doesn't really matter. I put in around 3. The max I put in is about 3% of my portfolio in any options trade. I'll never blow up my account, because I would have to lose like 100 times in a row, which is just, I don't think that's going to happen. But anyways, SE. All right, 30-minute chart. You have this low on SE that if this breaks, no, I wouldn't bail, William, if you're in them. Just be careful, right? You're sort of on, if you're in an oil trade right now, you're sort of like on, you have to be on edge a little bit. Because, yeah, I wouldn't say bail, right? Definitely. I would just watch it, because there is a conscious effort right now to decrease the price of oil, right? You guys have seen that in the news. There is a conscious effort to lower the price of oil. Like, that's what they're trying to do right now. They're trying to release reserves. They're trying to bring the price down. So you are trading against an effort from the governments around the world to decrease the price of oil. That's why I'm starting to think that there could be some downside, because it seems like there is a conscious effort starting from some of the State of the Union that we've heard, from President Biden, from a lot of news that we've seen come out from Walter. If you guys don't follow Walter on Twitter, you should. Walter Bloomberg. There's this constant news about, this country's releasing reserves. This country's releasing reserves. They're consciously trying to bring the price down, and rightfully so. Like, we can't have oil sitting above 100. It's not a very good thing. So just understand that if you're trading oil long, you're trading against the conscious effort to try to bring it down. So it could still go higher. I'm not saying it can't, but just understand that. All right, SE. SE, you have this break of 110 area, and you're moving down heavy, in my opinion. You have no support here. There's nothing here. So I think if you get this clean flush below previous lows around 110, 111, maybe even down below 100, right around this area, I think you're getting some big downside. There is nothing here. I think the only support that actually comes in is around $52. That's my honest opinion. Look at this chart. So I would see if there is more downside here. I would see if there is more downside under like 111, 110, and maybe under 100 as well. Big volume coming in. I think there could be more downside. SE is a stock that's just not in favor right now. So I would look to see if you can get more here. I'm definitely going to be watching this on a daily basis. It had another really ugly day yesterday. All right. Quickly want to go over a few of the Square. I want to go over these charts real quick and just show you guys what I've been looking. This is like something that I've been looking for a lot in this market. And I just want to share it with you because it's been working a lot. So what is Square doing right here, guys, right? You are pushing on earnings into resistance. You are starting to reject it. I took a trade on Square yesterday, early morning. Congrats anyone that's in the Discord. We traded Square in the live voice chat yesterday. Made about $330 on it. Just trading this breakdown, trading this rejection on the daily chart. Just looking at the daily chart and knowing that there's a rejection coming and trading it back to the downside. So you had your push. You have rejections right at previous resistance, and I'm trading it to the downside off that, and I'm looking to see, can it continue and fill the gap? Not sure it will if the market's strong, but that looks very similar, right, to a trade like Roku, right? You push higher into resistance, you trade it back to the downside, which looks the same as Zoom. Zoom, you push higher. Look at this, same exact thing. Push higher into resistance, trade it back to the downside, which looks the same as CRM, right? You push higher into resistance and you trade it back lower, right? If you guys see these charts, I would look for rejections. Now, why in this market would I be biased to rejections? Because the market's not strong. So every time you get pushes into these previous resistance levels, I would look for rejections. That's just what the market's doing right now. It would be very rare, in my opinion, to see a major breakout on a stock like CRM or Square or Zoom or Roku. You know, if you're talking breakouts on Tesla or Apple, I'd be a little bit more biased to maybe think it would go. But when you look at a stock like Square, which has been crap, Roku, which has been crap, Zoom, which has been absolute crap, when you look at all these stocks and you look to see if there's a push, I would fade every push. Until something changes, that's my mindset. I'm fading every push on these stocks that have been totally just forgotten about. Roku is one, Zoom is one, Square is one, PayPal is one. You know, if I see anything on PayPal to the upside, I'd fade that as well. That's what I'm looking for. Just wanted to sort of cover what, you know, let you guys know what I've been looking for a lot in this market. And if you see it, let me know. If you see it anywhere else, let me know. But yeah, I'm trying to think if I've seen it anywhere else. I don't think I've seen pushes into previous. This one's not bad either, Baba. Look at this one on Baba too. So Baba's a stock that obviously has been crap and been basically forgotten about. And look at what it just did. Look at what it just did. Do I post my levels on Discord? Absolutely, every single morning. Desi TA. I've done this for years. You can go on this for... We'll be on this stream for the next 3 hours if I keep scrolling here. So, yes. Absolutely. Tesla. Posted Tesla yesterday off 850. The CRM rejection, posted that. Zoom rejection, posted that. Roku rejection, posted that. 100% yesterday. Target, ES, NASDAQ, everything. All right, so that's what I've been looking, guys. Here's another example on Baba. Look at this. Push into rejection. Push into the resistance. Sell it back to the downside. Fade the move. So I'm going to be looking to do that again today on Baba, actually. I'm going to keep Baba on my charts. All right, that's what I got. Let me quickly go over what you guys got. We're going to have to go quick because we're running out of time. TSM. TSM is holding its major level, right? TSM is holding its major level, right? That's all you got to look for. Does TSM hold 108? If the market's strong, if you guys see any tech strength today, whoever put TSM in here, if you see tech strength, this could be absolutely a fantastic play back to the upside. You need tech strength for this to work out, but you can see that TSM ended up holding this level. It's a major level. Look at that. Major level. So if it holds there, I would look for the upside push, but you need some NASDAQ strength. You need to read the market and see if it holds. Walter Bloomberg is a guy on Twitter that I have automated tweet alerts from him, and it just goes all day, and it's very nice because you get the news right away, especially during these times. So I would follow this guy on Twitter or just come hang out in the Discord chat, and you get it automatic all day. All right, JWN. Yeah, I mean, you had the push, right? The push on this off earnings. It looks like it actually held pretty well. I don't know. I mean, I'm just not someone that you should ask about these stocks, guys. I'm not very good at them. I'm not a good, I don't trade these types of names. But, you got the push. You can see how jumpy this chart is. I mean, look at this chart. Look at the gaps on this chart. So, last time you had earnings, you gap down huge. This time you have earnings, you gap up big. I mean, I would personally, if I had to give you an opinion, I would look for it to move back lower. It's Nordstrom. It's not a stock that I would have very much interest in. Look at the daily chart. It's just down, down, down. Every push that it gets sold into. Push higher, 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 sold into. That's my opinion. I already went over CVX. Square. Went over Square. I would look for downside unless the market's strong. Delta 1 is a Twitter handle, correct. I would look for Square downside unless the market is strong. If the NASDAQ is strong, this is going to push higher. However, what I'm looking at, what the overall technicals are showing me are rejection, rejection, and rejection. If the market's weak today, I believe Square should reject as well. You just got to watch the 130 level. 130, 131. FCX. Freeport McMoran. I'm not sure what this company does. Copper. Okay. So, I mean, you have had some push in copper, gold, silver. So, maybe that continues. I don't know you got to sort of talk to me about what your plan is here. If your plan is to invest in it long term, maybe you buy some shares of this if you'd like to invest in copper. If you're just trading options, if there even is options on this, guys, I would not trade options on copper. Look for other trades. Is there even options? There is. I don't know. I don't know enough about gold, silver, copper to give you a good recommendation. I'm not going to blow, smoke out my what. Technically, I would look for this. That just being someone that likes technicals, I would look for a little retest of previous highs. But this is a move that is not correlated to technicals. This is a move that is correlated to economic news and current economic conditions. I don't know. I would just watch the 45 retest, and I would see if there's any more continuation on the other, the other materials as gold and silver. VALE, big resistance. Let's see. Vail Resorts. No, it's not Vail Resorts. What is this? What is this actually, though? Is this a metals company as well? Yeah, it's iron steel. Iron steel. Yeah, you got some resistance here. 20s, 23s. I don't see why, I don't know what your plan is on this one. So if you guys just type in your plans on if you maybe give me a little bit of, jot down what you're looking at. Because, I mean, there's not very much margin here. Maybe there's like some margin to 23, but it's just not a stock that I would recommend anyone to look at for options trading, if that's what you're talking about. It's happening. Is it happening? Is it happening? I don't know, but this is a ridiculous chart. I'll tell you that. This CVX chart is pretty ridiculous. And you could catch a pretty nasty trade if you maybe play this back to the downside. I would definitely be looking for CVX puts today if oil continues to drop. Absolutely. I would watch oil throughout the day, guys. I would have oil on your charts, absolutely. See if this thing starts to weaken. All right, guys. That's going to be it for me today. If you guys could just take 1 second and press the like button, that would be awesome. It looks like we're losing viewers on the live stream, but that's okay. We're going to continue. We're at 800. I don't know what was the peak viewer count today. Did we get 1,000 people today? I don't think so. 950, not too bad. Oil slides on speculation Iran nuclear deal will be signed in the next 72 hours. Yeah, guys, I mean, there's going to be works against oil price. There's going to be a conscious effort to decrease the price of oil. They're not going to just let it go and let it go and let it go. There's going to be a conscious effort. So that's why I'm bringing this up, because I think there will be an actual effort to bring oil prices down, which I believe you should maybe get ahead of. And I'm definitely looking to play it to the downside today. I got to be honest. I would like to just maybe take some CVX puts. It's really dropping right now. All right. Well, I know my plan. That's my plan. Let's give a look at it. Now, I'm not going to just buy puts it open because I'm crazy. I'm going to watch it and see if I can catch some downside. Or I play like some July or June puts on, some cheap July puts or June or maybe even August and just let them sit. That would be the other thing. All right. That's it, guys. Please press the like button. Subscribe to the channel. If you want to come hang out in the Discord chat where we talk all day, come hang out, guys. It's a fun environment. It's just a lot of really focused people. It's not a crazy Wall Street bets type environment. I keep it very professional. And if you want to come trade with us, come check it out. Thank you guys for being here. Press the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you tomorrow. Is the market moving off oil dropping? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That is sort of why we're seeing this. That's very good. All right, so if this is happening now, guys, I would not be looking for many of those rejections we talked about. If this starts to actually hold up, a lot of these stocks are going to break through. So Square might break through. A lot of the stocks that we talked about, Tesla might get through this 880. So just keep an eye on this market. If oil continues to drop, this market's going to continue to pop. If oil continues to drop, this market's going to continue to pop. This is all we need to give some fears away, this oil drop. God, I want to trade. I wish I could get into CVX puts right now. All right, guys, so we talked about this, and it's starting to happen live. Oil may, I'm not saying this is the day of the crack, but this is something I want you guys to watch out for. Absolutely. Watch out for this slowdown on oil. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow. Peace out. Where is my stream thing? There it is. All right, goodbye, guys. Peace.